just first describe your wrestling season this year.
Yeah, it's been an outstanding year. I think one of the things that might go unnoticed, obviously, is we've had so much success at all levels. I think our freshman team has won every event that they've been in. Our JV team has finished second one, and then that was very early in the season, and they've won everything since. Our varsity B team has won 3 varsity level tournaments. The latest one was competing against a half of a Division I, 17 teams, and it's made up a majority of local Division I teams. So the success has not just been to our varsity, it's been to all 65 kids in the program. And I think having a competitive room and a practice room has really made our program elevated it across the board. And so I think a lot of our success has been just because of that. We have a competitive room. And so those kids are battling every day for positions, for spots. And so that's helped. And so that'd probably be the number one factor to that, is we have a competitive room. Number 2 is we have a competitive schedule. Our schedule took us to, I think, 3 different states, Indiana, Illinois, West Virginia, and obviously wrestling here in Ohio. We wrestled the state champs and the projected state champs out of West Virginia. We beat them in a duel 30-29. It was great scene for us. We wrestled the defending state champs out of Indiana, which they wrestle in 1 division. So there's no multiple divisions in wrestling in Indiana. It was Indianapolis Cathedral, and we beat them in a duel. Then we wrestled in Illinois, which is in their premier tournament for the state of Illinois over the holidays, the Dvorak. And we finished 3rd in that behind 2 nationally ranked teams. We were really close to beating one of them. So our kids have been exposed to really high-level competition individually and as teams. I know Jordan Collins knocked off a national ranked kid. Zach Donovan are going to be our 106-pounder. He got on national radar, national rankings by his placement at the Dvorak. It was nice at the Chicago tournament. They had 9 Division I coaches in the stands scouting and watching. Some of our kids have gotten some serious consideration for scholarship offers and the exposure that they've gotten through that. So the reason we kind of set up our schedule like we did was so that our kids could get the exposure that they needed to, see high-level competition, and be able to do it in a risk-free environment, meaning that a loss, out of state is not going to be reflective, or of where they might be when we come back into Ohio. And we've been back in Ohio now the back end of January, and we'll be here the rest of the month and into March. So, the exposure that our kids have gotten by wrestling that, and basically wrestling a semi-national level schedule, is their confidence is where it needs to be, and I think they have a belief that they can achieve and be successful at a high level.
Okay, so your schedule this year was very different than the past. So you did play teams that were at the higher ranking, so harder to compete with, but you also played a lot of teams that were farther away than Mason. Can you, describe your reasoning for that?
Yeah, a lot of times when you go into different states, they have different styles of wrestling. One of the things, Illinois is a big freestyle state, so they do, when their wrestling style across the state is a little bit more dynamic on their feet. They will hit throws, and they will be in positions that we're not used to, just because in the state of Ohio it's not as big as a freestyle state as stylistically as is Illinois. Illinois wins the national level USA Nationals every year as a state because they put a lot of emphasis on that style of wrestling. So seeing that style, it helps expose our kids to situations that they normally wouldn't be exposed to. West Virginia, they are really good on in 3 levels of 3 positions, either neutral on your feet and top and bottom. West Virginia, they are really good on the top position. So it puts our kids across the state. And so, we really got exposed to, having to be better at the bottom position by wrestling, in that state and being put in that situation over that weekend. It helps our kids kind of develop. And then in Indiana, they let you work on top a lot. They will not call stalling. So you are able to work in a position that, and work on some areas in that area of wrestling in that state as well. So there's an advantage because it gives us a different style, and it can put us in a situation that, if we face a kid that's got those experiences at the state tournament, our kids have wrestled in those situations more so than wrestle locally, because locally we all kind of wrestle a similar style. And so, once we get outside that box and our kids just aren't as prepared. And so we recognized that a couple years ago, and we've adjusted our schedule a little bit each year to kind of fit the needs of our team. And this was a really good move on our part as we're getting through this part of the season with the objectives that we wanted to happen. They've occurred.
Okay, so with the schedule, you obviously have like a really successful season so far. Can you just describe your feelings about being in the Elite Eight?
Yeah, it was for second year in a row we're going to go back and be in the Elite Eight here. Last year we had a tall task, and knowing the team that we had, it was going to be a tall order to even really have a shot to win. We did just about everything we possibly could in the dual meet against Brecksville, who ended up being the state runner-up, and we fell about 15 points short of being able to advance on to the next round. So this year, our kids have had that experience. They've been on that stage before. They've wrestled in the arena. So, our goal has been, always to get back to that, but we want to advance in that bracket this year. The bracket just came out like literally 10 minutes ago. So we're a 5th seed. We're going to face the 4th seed, Elyria, and with a chance the winning team will advance to the semifinals. So our opening round is against a team that we're familiar with. We lost to them last year in a dual meet, 35-30. It's going to be an outstanding dual meet. It's going to come down to 1 or 2 matches. We have a realistic shot of winning. They're ranked 4th ahead of us for a reason. They've got 1 or 2 more ranked kids than we do. And so it's going to propose somebody in our lineup of 14 wrestlers is going to have to beat somebody that they're not ranked ahead of. And so that's what this duel is going to come down to. So it's an exciting time. So our kids, we're right there, but in order to win this dual meet, it's going to come down to one of our unranked kids stepping up and beating somebody that's ranked ahead of them right now. And so, we haven't even had a chance to address that with our kids, but they'll be up for the challenge. And, it'll be an exciting dual meet. And, we have a shot to advance. And so, going into next weekend, that's our goal, is that we want to get to the semifinals and wrestle St. Ed's, which has been the perennial powerhouse in the state of Ohio for a number of years. So be able to, we're putting our team in the ranks of major history in our program and major history in Ohio wrestling, because we're putting ourselves with the best programs and being talked about in that realm here, because we've been pretty consistent over the last couple of years, and we've taken steps each year to kind of be in that top 4, top 5 range, and we're right there. So we're right on the cusp of taking another step.
Okay, I think that's all my questions. Do you have anything else you want to add that you haven't said yet?
Hopefully, is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.